Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of October 16th through October 20th, where we'll be selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch, stocks to have in our bullpen, talk about how to manage our shopping list, etc. We'll also talk about dividend payers and our various option strategies for other alternative ways to generate income while we wait for various swing trading stock setups to present themselves. So let's get started. Welcome, Easy Mike. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're having a good day. So here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of October 16th through October 20th. We keep our notes for our weekly trading game plans in publicly accessible Google documents. You can find a direct link to this Google document in the description box below. Our notes contain links to bonus video, the tools and resources, etc., that we use to select our top swing trading stocks to watch and our other trading strategies. If you haven't already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this week, titled War, What Is It Good For?, we would highly recommend that you also view part 1, as this contains our market analysis, our strategies, trade ideas, etc. for this trading week of October 16th through October 20th. So you can access that via the link in the notes and also on our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel. We keep all of our notes in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder, so you can refer back to the notes for part 1 as well as notes for previous weekly trading game plans, and you can find a direct link to this Google Drive folder also in the description box below. Welcome the Crow, Sydney Osborne, Brian Moritz, Flip of the Shippa. Thank you all for joining us today. Hope you all are doing well. So very quickly, we didn't really change any positions this week. But if you would like to receive real-time trade alerts if we enter or exit any trade, you can get email notifications when we enter or exit a trade by joining any level of our Patreon. Again, we send out email notifications as quickly as possible whenever we enter or exit a trade. And we also have a couple channels in our Discord that are accessible to our Patreon members. So the first is the Thinkorswim TOS alerts. I set up price alerts in Thinkorswim. When those get triggered, they automatically get posted to this Thinkorswim alerts channel. If I do follow that up with a trade, then I would reply to that price alert in Thinkorswim with whatever trade we actually executed. So you can also see we're going to talk about SATS in a little bit, and you can see this got triggered as a 52-week low a couple weeks ago. And again, we'll talk about SATS in our watch list when we get there. So you can see in the notes if it's a 52-week low or support, etc., or support level in the case of LAC and these price alerts. If we're making a trade that's not directly related to a Thinkorswim price alert, then I would post that in the Trade Alerts channel in our Discord, as you can see when we went long on O on September 27th. So again, if it would help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career, to see when we exit and enter trades, you can get that information via any level of our Patreon, and you can find a direct link to our Patreon in the description box below. Welcome Nugem, Walter Lyons, Sydney Osborne again. Hope you're doing well. So now we'll talk about what stocks we have in our top swing trading stocks to watch list for this week. And then we'll jump over to Webull and we'll look at the charts. So first is land. Land is a REIT on farmland. So again, we've been talking about real estate. We've been talking about several of these REITs for some period of time, waiting for the whole real estate market to bottom, wait for these REITs to bottom and turn up. Land's been one we like. Again, on the concept of farmland, I guess it's the Mark Twain quote, buy land, they're not making any more of it. I always like that. So again, we've been watching land for a while, and if we get a pullback, we'll go long on land. Another REIT is NSA, National Storage Affiliates Trust. Again, we've been watching this for a while. This is a a REIT on public storage. You can hear more about our thesis and why we like NSA in the direct link to this quick take due diligence video in the notes and also on our BeachBum trading channel. Again, I mentioned SATS. We got that price alert that SATS had hit a 52-week low back on October 3rd. I also, and I'll pop up the FinBiz profile for SATS a second. It also showed up in one of the queries that I run at the end of each day, and it showed up as being profitable and trading below cash and trading below book. Again, I'll bring up the FinBiz chart in a minute, and we'll see where you can find that information. Also, SATS is one that we've traded profitably in the past, and you can hear our more detailed due diligence on SATS, why we like SATS in general, EchoStar Corporation, via the direct link to that due diligence video in the description box below. So again, let me pop open the FinBiz profile for SATS. We can take just a real quick look. You can see it took a major decline. Part of that decline, as you'll see in the news, is due to their announced acquisition of Dish Network. That wasn't received very positively, so it's been in a pretty steady decline. Again, looks like it's chopping around, trying to form a nice bottom there around the low 14s. And here's where you can see that it's trading below cash. So right now it's trading about 14. They have cash per share of 22.82 and book per share of 42.63. So again, if someone were to buy the whole company, they would get $23 in cash at a share price of about $14.50. So I like those that are value. That shows a good value. And again, I like those that are, and they're profitable. So they're generating free cash flow and they're trading below cash. So again, seems like a mispricement of value. Again, I'm possibly on that Dish announcement. Shares float and outstanding, not a lot of discrepancy, not a lot of short float. Target price of 24. So again, we're putting SATS on our watch list. We'll see in Webull kind of where our price target is, probably about that $13.95, the 52-week low. You can see it's got upside up to at least 24, high 24s, 25s. And you can see longer term, it's got more upside from that. So just another quick reminder, if you are a member any level of our Patreon, we also have a daily updated web page that gets automatically generated at the end of each day with the stocks on our top swing trading stocks to watch list and our bullpen. This web page also includes price targets, ex-dividend dates, dividend yields, etc., whether it's optionable, etc. So if you'd like to see more frequent updates to our watch list, you can get access to that automatically generated web page by joining any level of our Patreon. And then if I make any more frequent updates to our watch list after that web page has been generated, then I post those in the Stocks Watch List channel on our Discord, which our Patreon members also have access to. So again, if you'd like more frequent updates and additional information, if you like price targets, etc., you can get that information via joining any level of our Patreon. Welcome Tony Roses, Ellen Krantz, MD. Thank you all for joining us. So let me grab a quick drink and then we'll jump over and look at the charts for the stocks on our top swing trading stocks to watch list in Webull. Just a quick reminder, if you're not already using Webull, you can get up to 12 free stocks by opening and funding an account in Webull. They also offer a 5% interest rate on uninvested cash in your cash account. As you can see, we use Webull for our market analysis, due diligence, the majority of our trading, And if you're not already using Webull and you join with our affiliate link in the description box below, we would appreciate it. And you'll also help support our BeachBum Trading channel, our community, and get up to 12 free stocks. So again, if you're not already using Webull, you can get free stocks. Try it out. If you don't like it, you can always cash out your stocks and go elsewhere. So here's our top swing trading stocks to watch list. Thank you for that reminder, Tony Roses. We'd appreciate it, everyone watching, if you'd hit the like button. Thank you. Appreciate your support. And hopefully the YouTube algorithm will eventually share our content with more of our fellow traders. We can continue to build our BeachBum trading community. We greatly appreciate all of your help and support in doing so. So again, here's our top swing trading stocks to watch list. I'm using the online browser version of Webull. So you can see the land. This is, again, the farmland REIT. We've been watching it for a while. Again, real estate's been pretty volatile. This stock chops around. You see it pre-market tends to spike up to a resistance level. And then, that it's been failing off those resistance levels and trailing down. We get another dip around 1350 or so. Then we would go long on land. We've got a little bit of time. When we look at dividend payers, we'll see the ex-dividend date for these REITs. So here's NSA on public storage. Again, it made a recent bottom of 29 something, right around 30 is a pretty good price. You can see it's bounced off its resistance level, trailed down. It's kind of sitting at that pivot point around 30.88. We'll see if that holds or if it's going to test this 30 level again. Again, we've got some time. NSA is a quarterly dividend, as you'll see in our dividend payer sheet. So again, we've got some time to see if we can get a little bit of a pullback. Here's the chart on SATS and Webull. You can see 1397, 1395 was the recent low. So again, if it just dips and makes touches that 52-week low again or near it, we would go long on SATS. Again, plenty of upside, 2480 in the near term. You can see that precipitous drop. So again, I think that's an overreaction, negative sentiment, and probably, again, related to that Dish Network acquisition. And you can see it's getting rejected off that pivot point. It's got support down here. It's got support at that, around that 14 level previously. So that 14 level looks pretty good. Okay, now let's talk about our stocks in our bullpen. Anyone who's new to our community, the concept of the bullpen is stocks we're not watching real time. They're ones I've identified that may present an attractive setup in the near future. So I put them in the bullpen, just revisit them at the end of each day. And if their setup has improved, then we put them in the game, move them up to our top swing trading stocks to watch list, to watch real time. If they break down or run away, then we just take them out of the bullpen. So again, I just revisit this list at the end of each day and make a decision to keep them or put them in the game or take them off. So the first one, again, we've been discussing for some period of time, waiting for that bottom and swing in real estate. Another way to play that swing in real estate is a leveraged ETF that we looked at probably yesterday in the past several weeks, DRN. So this is a 3x leveraged on real estate. So again, to play that swing with some leverage in real estate, we're watching DRN. LTC is another REIT we've been watching, traded profitably in the past. This is a senior living facility, so hospital, senior living specifically. So that's the reason we kind of like LTC. MP Materials, this one's interesting. We'll see some interesting behavior in the chart. Been watching that off and on for quite a while. You can hear our thesis on why we like MP Materials in this previous due diligence video via the link below or in the notes. and also on our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel. And again, we'll see some interesting behavior in the chart of MP. UTSL, we've been talking again for several weeks about watching for a seasonal shift and the bottom and turn up in the utilities sector. We saw a flight to safety in the utilities on Friday, as you can hear in part one. Not sure that is really necessarily the bottom, but possibly. You can hear several of our previous discussions about whether the utility sector is a good sector to buy now via the short video, the bonus link to the short video in the notes, and also why utility stocks are sensitive to increasing interest rates. Now, just a note, and we'll talk a little bit about the TLT, TLTW, etc. As well. But you saw the volatility yesterday in the treasuries, TLT, the mortgage rates, and both the utility sector and real estate sector are highly sensitive to interest rates, particularly the mortgage rate in terms of REITs and real estate, and yields, bond yields in terms of utilities. So again, we're closely watching the TLT, the treasury, bond yields in terms of their potential impact. Again, we've also got the Fed interest rate decision at the end of this month. So that if they do raise another 25 basis points, that would have a negative impact on both the real estate sector and the utilities. So again, something to be aware of. If we get a hold, then that might be a short-term reprieve again for real estate and utilities. Welcome aboard to Be Free. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. And grab a quick drink and we'll go look at our bullpen stocks, the charts for our bullpen stocks in Webull. Okay, another nice thing about Webull is it's easy to have multiple watch lists and just flip through them. So again, at the end of each day, I just flip over to my bullpen watch list. I can quickly spin through these charts, see if their setup is improved or if it's run away, broken down. So here's DRN. This is again the leveraged on real estate. We see it had a run. Looks like it may, it's hovering around that resistance level. Again, if bond yields, if the TLT goes, but the yields on the TLT goes up, that will probably have a negative impact on real estate. So we might get another dip. If so, around 6, this DRN looks attractive, plenty of upside. And again, we can see that strong bounce that it had, at that $6 level. Looks like it may have rolled over even short of that longer term pivot point. LTC, again, it's kind of run up a bit. We'd like it down, around 30, 36 was near the previous bottom. Again, it, has run up some. So real estate's made several attempts to rally. It's tended to rally near term and then fail and trail back off. So we'll see if we get just a dip in some of these real estate stocks that we can get in. Here's MP Materials. You can see it was downtrending for quite a while, down to the low 16s, making new lows around 16, 18. This is the interesting behavior I wanted to point out. CNBC did on their final call show on Thursday, did a segment on MP. And if we look in closer detail, you can see it started running way up on that segment. It was a positive segment. They're doing their own ore rare earth processing now in the U.S. They don't have to ship it off to China anymore. So we see these pre-market run-ups, but they didn't hold. So I wasn't going to chase it at this point. But that run-up didn't hold. It rejected off that pivot point, came back down, sitting below this support level. So we might be able to get a dip. If we get a little bit of a dip on MP, that's again attractive. They do rare earth metals. Now they're doing their own rare earth metal processing in the U.S. And they have some defense contracts related to strategic metals in the U.S. UTSL, again, we've been talking, for quite some time. We saw that, significant dip as Treasury yields went up, utilities went down, got beaten down severely the whole month of October or the whole month of September. Again, we talked about this in advance that sometime in October, we kind of expected a bounce. It's a seasonal trend that we identified, and we've kind of gotten that. Now it's run up a bit. Again, I'm not going to chase it, but it does look like it's made a turn. If we get a rotation out of utilities, it might give you an opportunity to enter. Again, it looks like it's gotten rejected off that resistance pivot point. So again, if we get an entry level, but again, you can hear our previous discussions on why we identified utilities as a potential long-term swing. Even if the Fed raises another 25 basis points, the downside risk is probably less than the potential reward. And yes, Born to Be Free, Walter, we're talking about pivot points. So what you're seeing, the lines in the Weeble chart are the pivot points indicators. And I've done a previous video on how to turn on the pivot point indicators. So you can see it's the pivot point indicators. So again, you can find our previous video on how to turn that on in Weeble. Also, I think Thinkorswim, I might have done one on that as well. So in terms of our shopping list, again, we always recommend that you have your shopping list of stocks that you always wanted to buy, given the opportunity. Again, we're headed into the heart of earnings season again. And if we get an irrational reaction to earnings, that may be an opportunity to pick up one of your shopping list stocks. If we get an irrational reaction due to the wars, again, possible opportunities to pick up your shopping list stocks. We just advise that you beware of zombie stocks, zombie companies, those that, are barely able to service their debt. We're seeing bankruptcies increase. And again, you don't want to get stuck in a company that's going to go bankrupt, get delisted, etc. And you can hear more about what a zombie stock is, what a zombie company is via the links in our videos, via the links in the notes. Okay, I'm going to open up our dividend payers. If anyone we'll look at the various REITs that we identified that we're watching as dividend payers. Also, some of those leveraged ETFs do pay dividends. If there's a particular dividend payer stock that you'd like to see, you can throw it up in the chat. We'll take a look at those. Also, just a quick reminder, if you'd like access to this dividend payer Google Sheet to help you construct your own calendar of dividend payers, build, whatever schedule, whatever strategy you'd like to use to generate income with dividend payers on your schedule. You can get access to this dividend payers Google Sheet as well as our ETFs and our puts ROIC Google Sheet by joining our Patreon at the All Access or VIP level. We also have a series of videos on how to find the best dividend paying stocks that talks in more detail about how we've generated this dividend payers Google Sheet, how you can use it again to construct your own strategy, your own schedule for using dividend payers to generate income via this series, and you can access that via the link in the notes as well. Okay, let me quickly look at the ones that we've talked about that we're watching. So we've got land. Doesn't pay a real high monthly dividend. Again, some of the REITs pay monthly, so land is a monthly dividend payer, only pays 5 cents. So again, not we're watching this more for price appreciation, so you can see the risk to rewards very attractive, even on a 52-week basis. So the adjusted yield, again, this is one we're more attracted to for the for its price appreciation than for its dividend. LTC we talked about, it pays 19 cents monthly, so it's 7%, so it's a little bit more attractive as a longer term hold, but it's still got even more in terms of price appreciation. So you can see the adjusted yields is nice, but even again 7%, if you're just going to hold it, it's pretty attractive. NSA pays 56 cents quarterly, so it last paid out on 9/14, so we've got plenty of time before the next payment. I'll show you another way you can find the payment dates on these dividend payers so we can fix the date on land. So in Webull, if you go to the corporate actions, so we can see select corporate actions, dividends. We can see the last ex-dividend date on land was 9/20. So the next ex-dividend date will probably be around 10/20. So again, we've got, this week we probably will need to make a decision whether to enter land just to get that 5 cents. Again, I'm not as concerned about the 5 cents as the potential price appreciation. So see, a 62-cent risk is a lot more than the 5-cent dividend. And again, on the ex-dividend dates, they typically dip equal to the dividend itself. So if they overreact and it goes more negative than that, that can be an opportunity to enter. So possibly on the 20th, there might be an opportunity to get land a little bit cheaper. Talked about NSA, pays a quarterly 56 cents dividend. This one, we just released our previous discussion on OARC, our video with a previous discussion on OARC. You can see it's very close to its 52-week low. You can take a look at that, see if that's something that you might be interested in. You can see it pays a 33-cent monthly dividend, so it's got pretty attractive yield. But again, this is based on the ARK-K ARK investment ETF. I think Easy Mike mentioned SAR again. It's one that he likes. You can see it pays 71 cents. Looks like it pays quarterly. Last payment 9/13, so December 13th, around that time. It's relatively stable, not a lot of variance. Here's TLT, TLTW. I did want to quickly look at the FinBiz charts for TLT. So we could see, do we think, TLT is at a bottom, near a bottom? We'll see the volatility in treasuries. And when we do see that bottom, we want to compare the yields and the opportunities between TLT and TLTW for a potential long-term swing, an additional long-term swing in the treasuries. So again, I want to quickly look at the chart of TLT in FinBiz. As you can see, you can access the FinBiz charts for any of these dividend payers. The profiles via the links in the notes column in our dividend payers Google sheet. So again, we see that recent volatility in the TLT 20-year treasuries. It ran up and then severely dropped off and then recovered on that flight to safety on Friday. We see it's been in a serious decline. That weekly candle looks pretty nice. Looks like a potential tweezer bottom. That might be an indication that we've established a bottom. and this monthly candle looks like it may be a tail capitulation. So again, that monthly candle I like also that, we may have established a bottom in TLT. So if we get just a little bit of a pullback, retest the bottom on TLT or near the bottom, that may be the time to enter with TLT or TLTW. We can see the 52-week low is 84 on TLT, and those translate to this is a dividend payer on the TLT. So we want to see, you can see the nominal yield on TLTW is 12%, which is much better than just the 3.7 for TLT, and the price appreciation in TLTW. However, it doesn't have quite the history. So if we quickly look at TLTW as well, the chart's going to mirror, TLT. You can see this is a buy right option strategy on the 20-year Treasury, so on TLT. And we can see it doesn't have a real long history, although again, that tweezer-like bottom on the weekly chart looks pretty attractive. So again, maybe we've seen the bottom in TLT. If we get a retest, that may be the entry point, even if we get an additional 25 basis points raise in November or December. UTSL, again, is the leveraged ETF on utilities. It does pay a small dividend, but again, not something we'd hold for the dividend. It'd be, for price appreciation for a swing trade. And again, not something we would necessarily hold for a long term. Talked yesterday also, if you're looking for yield in gold and silver, we hold SLVO for silver. You can see it pays a 30-cent monthly. It has paid more in the past. We hold GLDI for gold, and you can also look at USOI for oil. Again, oil's high right now, so but if you want to get a dividend yield for holding these commodities, you can see GLDI is paying 40 cents monthly, and it goes ex-dividend. All three of those will go ex-dividend on the 19th. So, this week, if you want to get a yield on those commodities. Let me check the chat quickly and see if anybody has another dividend payer you'd like to look at. If I missed it, I apologize. Please throw it back up in the chat while I grab a drink, and then we can look at those dividend payers while we're here. Okay, welcome, Crassy. Glad to see you. Thank you for joining us. So again, if anybody has another dividend payer you'd like us to look at, if you'd like us to do research on a potential dividend payer for potential inclusion in our dividend payers Google Sheet, you can always put those in the comments to this video, in our Discord, etc. Contact us via social media. We'll do the research, and we can see if it warrants addition to our dividend payers Google Sheet for everyone else's benefit as well. So our other strategy for generating income while we wait for various swing trading setups to manifest themselves is various option strategies. So we sell covered calls against our existing positions when the stock's going up, buy them back when it's going down. We also sell puts, in our case, mostly cash secured puts, when stocks that we're willing to own. You can see our criteria in the notes in our Google document. We're selecting stocks to sell puts on, and then we'll buy them when they're going down, sell them back when they're going back up, generate our own dividends, and rinse and repeat both of these strategies. So again, there's plenty of ways. One of the messages we always try to convey is there's plenty of ways to make money trading, and utilizing a variety of strategies gives you more opportunities, again, to make money trading. So these are some of the strategies we utilize. So I'll bring up our puts ROIC Google sheet, which we use to identify potential puts that we might want to sell, and then when we want to buy them back. And again, you can get access to this puts ROIC Google sheet 24/7, so you can see who's moving up and down during the market when the market's open, and then identify potential opportunities to sell puts, what their return on invested capital is during the market day using our Google sheet. Just a couple quick cleanup is I removed the following from the main watch list sheet, hopefully improve the performance, clean it up a little bit. I removed Apple, the ROIC, the return on the existing options wasn't terribly attractive. Also N-phase similarly, and it's been pretty steady decline. So they're still on the research tab, so I can still look at them, see if they become more attractive. And you can see them on the research sheet as well as others that we've tracking on the research tab. And if you'd like us to do research on any other put options, just let us know the ticker, strike price, expiration. We can plug those into the Google sheet in the research, and if they warrant it, we'll move them up to the watch list. So we have a whole series of videos on how we've generated this puts ROIC, how we use it to identify, take advantage of opportunities with puts and various options that you can see via this link in the notes. And we have a whole playlist of videos on how to make money trading options on the options YouTube playlist on our BeachBum Trading channel. So welcome, Becca. Good to see you here. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. So here's our main watch list for puts. We see some that are potentially attractive. We can see what their current return on invested capital is. So Disney right now, if you're interested in Disney, you can see you could sell a put at 187. Again, most of the ROICs is pretty low. So they're not, terribly attractive right now. We've talked about Moderna. It's, reasonably attractive. You can get 520 at a 95 strike, but it's only 3.4% ROIC. We've identified the previous top of this option at 610, but that's still only 4%. Also, if you heard, Pfizer issued a warning on their guidance in terms of income from additional vaccines going forward. Now that they're charging for vaccines, the expectation is that fewer people will be willing to pay for the vaccines, and that also may have a negative impact on Moderna. So just be aware of that news and the potential risk here on Moderna. Although, if that spikes up, that may be an attractive option to sell and then buy back on a bounce. Again, you can also use this Google sheet to identify, we're looking at more longer term wheel strategy type put options where we'll buy the put. If it gets us, we'll either get assigned and then hold it for a swing back up and sell covered calls against it. Or it'll expire worthless. We'll just collect the premium and possibly rinse and repeat. But you can also use this to see the short-term movements, who's moving up, who's moving down. You can see the previous day's high, low, 52-week high, low, and hopefully that would also help you price options for some shorter-term options trade. So again, we're looking at longer-term swing trades in terms of these puts, these options. But again, hopefully this would also help you in shorter term options trading as well. Some on the research tab. Again, we've talked about Albemarle. Albemarle's been in decline. It did, I believe I lowered that strike price to 150. You see the ROIC is still pretty low. We've been talking about Dexcom. These weight loss drugs probably had a negative impact on Dexcom, which is a diabetes monitoring company. But again, the ROIC isn't terribly attractive. It is hitting that options, hitting new 52-week highs. So again, if you're looking for some short-term options trades, not as concerned with the longer-term ROIC, that might be interesting. Estee Lauder, again, the cosmetic companies, you can see that's hitting new 52-week highs. Ford and GM we talked about a couple weeks ago. Again, ROIC is about 4%. It's close to new 52-week highs given the additional strikes, the UAW strikes. So again, you can also use this research tab to identify those that are breaking at or above their 52-week high for options. Again, the white columns are updated with Google Finance functions, so they're near real time, about a 20-minute delay during the market day. And then the gray columns, we have automated systems that collect the options data and then update the gray columns at the end of each day. So we hope that all helps. MD says L for cosmetics. It's probably currently one of the best performers, but again, pretty negative sentiment in the whole group right now. Now, again, that's a segment that one would expect going into the holiday season. They may, perform better during the holidays, but we won't get those earnings until first quarter of next year. So we might see a downtrend into the end of the year and possibly a turnaround into early next year. So that segment is one that we might want to be taking a look at going into early next year. Okay, if anybody again has any other puts you want to look at, or again, if you'd like us to do research on those, you can see some additional ones. We're already long O, which is Realty Income, another REIT. Again, we're already long this. You could, again, sell a put at 50 or so. It has gone below 50 recently. And again, just let us know if you'd like us to research any additional puts. We can put them in the research tab, have our automated systems collect the data, and then see how that looks. If it looks like the return on invested capital is attractive, we can put it in the watch list. So MD says he sells covered calls on Palantir. Yeah, again, if you own a stock that's optionable, this is one of the reasons we prefer stocks that are optionable. That way, if we do have a position, if we want to hold it for a longer period of time, or it's underwater and we want to lower our cost basis or just collect some premium while we wait for it to swing back up, selling covered calls is again a great way to generate your own, essentially a dividend while you wait for the price appreciation to reach your price targets. So if anyone has any other topics you'd like to discuss, any particular stocks you'd like us to look at, any questions, if I missed your question, I apologize. And we've got a few minutes. We can address some questions, talk about some other topics. So if you'd throw those back up in the chat. And let me grab a drink, and again, we'll address any additional topics or questions or look at any additional stocks you'd like to look at for a few minutes. Becca says, looking at KTB, would you like us to quickly look at KTB? So just another reminder, if you're watching this after the fact, or you can find links to our Discord and all our Facebook or all of our social media sites, Facebook group, Reddit community, etc., under the links section on our homepage, beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U. Also links to the trading platforms we use, the tools we use, etc. So if you want quick access to these tools and resources, you can find them on our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel. So here's KTB. It's either profitable. Looks, like it's following this narrowing pennant. Looks like almost a pennant. Bounced off its recent resistance. 52-week high of 53. So, it's relatively close to its 52-week high. It's got, some upside in the low 50s, maybe much longer term. She was pointing out some of the brands that KTB is. So they are profitable. EPS is, relatively stable. And had a recent decline that probably attributes to the decline in share price. So Wrangler, Lee, so there's also Levi, so this probably moved in sympathy with Levi. There was a discussion that those weight loss drugs may cause people to have to refresh their wardrobe, so that was probably a catalyst, for some of this upswing in KTB. So not bad, I wouldn't say it's cheap at this point, but again, it's got some potential upside short term. It looks like it's got pretty good support from that trend line. Does pay a dividend. Dividend yields 4.3, so you'd want to get some price appreciation to kick that over 5%. I don't think we have that in our dividend payers, but we'll take a look real quickly. No, it's not in our dividend payers right now. So I hope that helps. So again, anybody else have any questions? Again, you can tag us in our Discord. We're BeachBum Trading, all lowercase, no pounds or numbers. Anyone else is an imposter. You can find a free invite to our Discord. Our Discord's free to join, free to participate in, with the exception of the few channels that I pointed out that are for our Patreons, exclusive to our Patreons. All the other channels are free. We also would appreciate any feedback that you have for improving our weekly trading game plans, any of our videos, our tools, our Google Sheets, our community, etc. Please let us know, how can we add more value for all of our fellow BeachBum traders. We also have a suggestion box in our Discord, so you can also put any recommendations for improvement in our suggestion box in our Discord as well. And again, you can contact us via any of our social media sites. You can find links to all our social media sites on our homepage, beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U. So Easy Mike was saying usually starts adding JEPI and JEPI and JEPQ after the 15th of each month. So that's a great dividend payer strategy. Again, we hope our dividend payers Google Sheet, you can find JEPI, JEPQ. So you can see their ex-dividend date is the early beginning of the month. So he says they start adding towards the middle of the month. And then I don't know when you sell it, but again, it's helpful to know, see the ranges, the risk reward. If you're looking for stability or price appreciation, you can see the nominal yields on these is pretty attractive, 10 and 12%. I've been watching these. I'd like them a little bit cheaper myself to hold for a long period of time. But again, hopefully our Google Sheet will help you construct whatever dividend payer strategy will generate the type of income that you'd like to have. Welcome, Douglas PC. Thank you for joining us. So again, if anybody has any questions, comments, topics to discuss, please let us know. And again, otherwise, we appreciate all your participation, all your support. We hope that you like this content. Again, please let us know how we can improve to make this our content as valuable as possible for all of our BeachBum trading, everyone in the BeachBum trading community. We hope you'll share this with your fellow traders and friends. There's a topic that I'll briefly discuss. Someone mentioned yesterday that all the traders they knew went broke selling or trading GameStop, GME in the past, and that's unfortunate. And we hope that you will share our community with those types of traders and hopefully help them understand there are other ways to trade, to make money trading, to succeed in trading other than that. And hopefully our community will help them find their strategy to make money trading and succeed in their trading career. So we'd love to get those people back. We don't want to see them give up on trading just because of one or a few bad experiences. So again, otherwise, let us know in the comments and our Discord. We can continue these discussions 24/7 in our free Discord. And thank you again all for joining and watching. And we will see you on the trading floor this week. Have a great trading week. Good luck. And again, have a great trading week. Bye.